Hey, JC here for retirecheapjc. Are your retirement or pre-retirement concerns the same back in your home country as they will be in Thailand? Let's talk about it. So, as you know, this channel and everything I talk about on the channel is about getting you from where you are now to where you want to be. And hopefully all our videos on our member site helps to accomplish that. So today I wanted to talk to you about crisis management. You know what crisis management means?
No.
It means when things can happen bad, you need to think about them before they happen. And if they do happen, how do you fix them without having a lot of problems? So, crisis management means if something can go wrong, you need to be prepared for it going wrong. And if it does happen, you need to be able to fix it real quick. That's crisis management. I was actually talking to some members the other day, and I was talking to them about being able to draw the line and the fact that as we get older, we don't recover as quickly if something bad happens. And this means financially, if something happens financially, you lose money, something happens, it's hard to make the money back again as you get older. When you're young, you can go back to work, start a business, no problem. As you get older, it's harder to do that. If you get sick, get in an accident, something happens to you physically, it's harder to recuperate, harder to get back on your feet, harder to get well. All this happens as we get older. So we really need to pay attention as we get older to some of these things. So I was talking about this at our members meeting, and our member Perry said, "You're talking about crisis management." I thought about it, said, that's a perfect way to put it. It is crisis management. You're managing to make sure not to have a crisis, and if you do have a crisis, how to fix it quickly. So I wanted to mention this. I'm going to come out with a PDF that I'm going to give away that's called the 7 Most Stressful Concerns of Pre-Retirees. And there's a lot of concerns that people justifiably need to pay attention to. What I wanted to talk about was drawing the line. We all draw the line in different places. Somebody that's younger might take more risk on a motorcycle, things that could affect their health, things that they could lose money doing, because they know that they can get that stuff back. But as we get older, it becomes much more difficult to do that. So when it comes to helping people, retirees need to know how much money they're going to make every month, how long that money is going to last, and how much money they can spend every month without affecting their long-term retirement. I see retirees jeopardizing their retirement as a whole, but also living in Thailand because they have to have a certain amount of money to live here. And so they put it in the bank. And then I see them doing risky behaviors that they could possibly lose that money and not be able to live here anymore. It's a good idea to calculate your budget and draw the line in the sand and say, okay, how much can I spend every month? How much would I spend personally every month? If I'm going to spend X amount of money personally, how much money could I give to help somebody else out? And this could be relationships, or having people clean for you, or a driver. You can have anything, but I see people overextending themselves and buying businesses for somebody that they care about and overextending themselves, or the person in a relationship wants a car. And so they buy a car when they really don't need a car and they really can't afford the car, but they buy it anyway. And that comes from scarcity mentality, where they're afraid if they don't do something, then they're going to lose this person. It's not a good reason to overextend yourself. Same with health. We need to be careful, but you don't want to be so careful that you're not having any fun in your life. And so we all draw that line as well. So I was doing the last video, and I have my sunglasses around my neck, but I wanted to be more personable in the camera, and so I didn't have them on. Now that's a judgment call, because could a bug fly in my eye? Yeah, sure, absolutely. A rock fly up? Yeah, absolutely. But we all do this everywhere. If we're driving up and down a beach road and I'm going 15, 20 miles an hour, in my mind I would rather enjoy the scenery and the freedom and either have a real light helmet on like I had in that video last time, or no helmet. And is it safe? It's safer always to have a helmet. It's always safer to do a lot of things. You could always do something safer, always. But how safe you want to be, there's a cause and effect for everything. So everything you do, there's going to be an effect to. And I happen to draw the line to where I want more freedom and enjoyment in life. Because I learned a long time ago that the chemistry that you produce by feeling good, and this, when I say feeling good, it can be any feeling that's a positive feeling. As long as you're not producing adrenaline and cortisone over a long period of time, because you can feel good jumping out of a plane and it's temporary, it's a rush. But you don't want to be producing cortisone and adrenaline in a stressful situation like a relationship or a job you don't like every day. That's dangerous, unhealthy. So when people come over to live in Thailand, the reason I'm bringing all this up is before you come over, you need to look at what are you going to do to stay busy? How much money are you going to be able to spend? What's your budget? I did the video just because you can.
Doesn't mean you should.
Doesn't mean you should. That's right. And so you need to think about where you're going to fall within that line. One of our great members, Mark, he never rode a motorcycle before. He's up in Chiang Mai. He went to the school that Honda puts on for 2 days. Spent a whole day driving a motorcycle around, asking questions, getting tips from Honda about driving till he felt comfortable. The next day was the test, and they gave him a certificate, and he was able to get his license. So now how comfortable does he feel out on a motorbike? Will he drive in the city in Chiang Mai or only outside of Chiang Mai? These are all these decisions you got to make. So where are you personally going to draw the line? How much money are you going to spend every month? How much money are you going to give away or pay other people for services that maybe you don't want to perform, but other people can? Are you going to go out to a bar once a week, twice a week, every night? Remember, it's harder to get back in shape if you get out of shape once we get older. How much are you going to exercise? I would personally suggest that you address all these issues as crisis management before they become a crisis. Because after they do, I've seen people over here, I got to tell you, that are financially in trouble, emotionally in a bad place, because they've overextended themselves or indulged too much in something that was not really healthy for them. So, having said all that, you got to have fun. You got to enjoy life. To me, that's what it's all about. I'd rather die earlier and have enjoyed my life than live to be 100 and be miserable the last 20, 30 years, 40 years, because I was in fear and afraid to do anything. So it's a balancing act. Figure out where your tipping point is, what you're comfortable with, and what your goals are as far as financial goals, physical goals, and emotional goals as well. You're retired. Retirement's a full-time job. I'm sure you're going to like your boss better, but he's still a boss. He still needs to be telling you what to do and what not to do. So, hope this is helpful. Everybody's talking about how cheap it is in Thailand, and I'll continue to do that about what costs are here. But I think at this point, that's sort of beating a dead horse. Most people can figure their budget will go 3 times as far over here. But I'll show you some of that stuff as well. But really, a successful retirement in Thailand is going to be dealing with differences and preparing for things that aren't normal issues back in your home country. So I hope these kind of videos are helpful. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll be sure to try and answer them. And remember, when it comes to drawing the line in the sand,
always option.
There's always an option. See ya!
Bye!
Hey, JC here. If you like that video, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel here. Also, we have another video up here you're going to be really interested in watching as well. And if you're looking for all the details of how to retire in Thailand in one place, plus a group of people to support you, check this out over here. Give it a click.